Greetings, MGMT 480 International Business students. This is Dr. Jaros here with a video explanation for how I graded exam number 3. Since we don't have any more class sessions and I can't do that via a Teams meeting. All right, let's look at question number 1. As discussed in class, describe 3 reasons why some might oppose an REI, free trade agreement, for their country. Well, there are 4 reasons that we discussed during the team meetings. Losers, level playing field concerns, sovereignty concerns, and trade distortion concerns. Now, some of you lost points because all you did was list those. I asked you to describe them, so you had to tell me what each of those meant. Losers are people who believe that a free trade agreement will make them worse off rather than better off. Okay? Level playing field concerns are concerns that it might not be fair for the USA to have a trade agreement with a country that has different environmental protection regulations than we have, or that has a different minimum wage that we have, because that could put our businesses at a disadvantage. Sovereignty concerns are worries that some people have that if we have a free trade agreement with another country, we have to give up some of our power to govern our trade. Because if we have a dispute with the other country, then we don't get to decide what happens. Rather, some third party, like the WTO, gets to decide what happens. And we're going to have to abide by whatever ruling they issue. Last but not least, trade distortion concerns are concerns that lower cost and more efficient businesses that are lower cost and more efficient, but are located in countries that are not a part of the trade deal, will be put at a disadvantage compared to businesses that are more costly and less efficient, okay, but are inside of the trade agreement, are part of the trade agreement, and thus will be treated under more favorable terms. All right, let's look at, and by the way, you did not have to describe all 4 of those. You only had, any 3. You just had to pick any 3 of them. All right. Question number 2. Under what circumstances is FDI a better strategy than exporting to sell a product in a foreign country? Explain. Well, there are 2 circumstances under which foreign direct investment is a better strategy than exporting for selling a product in a foreign country. One is if transportation costs are very high for that particular kind of product, or if the country is, far, far away, because we all know, the farther you want to ship something, the higher the transportation costs tend to be. So if it's a product that is, very expensive to ship, then the shipping costs associated with exporting may make FDI more attractive. The other reason is trade barriers. A lot of countries do not like exported products because from their point of view, it's, an imported product. And so they may put trade barriers in place like tariffs or import quotas that make it very difficult for the exporting company to do business there. Foreign direct investment is a way around those trade barriers. So if trade barriers are high, then FDI can be a better strategy. All right, number 3. As discussed in my lecture, what pricing issues arise when we decide to sell something in a foreign country? Explain. Well, there are basically 3 pricing issues that we talked about during our Teams meeting. One is, should we use standard pricing in a foreign country, or should we engage in what's called price discrimination? Standard pricing means, if we sell the product in the USA, and now we're going to sell it in Canada, standard pricing would mean we sell it for the same price in Canada that we do in the USA. On the other hand, price discrimination would mean we sell it for different prices in the USA and Canada, depending upon market forces. Also, there's the issue of experience curve pricing. Experience curve pricing means to offer the product for sale in the foreign market at initially a low price in order to, get consumers to try it. And then once consumers try it, hopefully they will like it. And if they like it, then we can jack up the price to a more profitable level. Last but not least, there's something we discussed called predatory pricing. Predatory pricing means that you dump the product in a foreign market. You sell it for less than it costs you to make it, meaning you're actually losing money on each unit of product sold. But the idea is to drive your competitors out of the market and gain a monopoly. Once you've bankrupted all of the competitors with your low prices, with your super low prices, then you have a monopoly, and then you can jack your prices up real high because consumers will not have any choices. But that's difficult to do because it runs afoul of WTO regulations. Finally, question number 4. Why do some governments not want to host foreign direct investment? Explain. Well, as the book explains, there are 2 basic reasons as to why some governments do not want to host FDI coming in from other countries. One is domestic competition. That is, the host government might fear that the foreign company that comes in and invests, they might drive out, local domestic competitors. Now, put them at a competitive disadvantage and take business away from them. The second reason is national security. If the industry in question is one that's very important to the security of a country, that country might not want, production of that critical military product to be in the hands of a foreign company, that might not be loyal to the domestic government in case there's a military crisis or war of some kind. So those are the 2 basic reasons: domestic competition and national security. All right, I hope this video explanation was beneficial to you in that it enabled you to understand how I graded your 3rd exam. Good luck in the rest of the classes you are taking this semester, and maybe I'll see some of you again in the fall. Take care.